Prince-Abbi, there are about 3 steps to the budgetary process. The preparation process or stage and presentation to the National Assembly. Then the period it takes the National Assembly to go over the numbers, and then the third is for the time that the executive branch takes to look into the numbers, agree, disagree with the legislature, and say we're signing or we're not signing. So those are the 3 pyramid on which the budget rests. So there's a new executive order signed by the acting president a few weeks ago, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, that he says will fast track the process of budget making. Are you confident or are you comfortable? Do you think that will resolve this tripartite problem cycle of conundrum we have?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, the acting president passed the ease of doing business executive order, and I had calls to have made comments on some other media appearance, and I commended that effort. It's very good in terms of ease of doing business. But fundamentally important to the ease of doing business is actually what I'll call the freeing or the defreezing of the budget process, which will ease business in entirety. Now, you have already mentioned the tripartite approach. We have the bureaucracy, the budget preparation process or stage, and then, of course, the National Assembly going through the budget, and then the final stage, the presidential vetting of what the National Assembly has done, and then giving the final imprimatur for the budget to be active. Now, the first stage is troublesome for me, the bureaucratic stage. It's because you don't even present a budget for 2017 in December 2016. So that's already a failure. That shows there's bureaucratic impasse. Bureaucratically, that is wrong on the part of the executive. I see a situation where the federal government should pass the budget to the National Assembly by July, August, September, latest of the year. Like now, for instance, we're in, by September, latest, the budget should be before the National Assembly, for budget for 2018. So we solve the bureaucratic aspect there. Now, the main problem we have, the one that just doesn't make me understand where we're headed, is the legislative aspect. Why should it take the National Assembly 6 months to go through a budget that has been prepared? Why should it take the National Assembly 5 months to go through a budget that has been prepared? Go through it and appropriate accordingly. That is where we have. That is the depoliticization that I'm talking about. We need to start to look at how we work with hand in glove towards one direction in terms of vitalizing the economy of this country. So the National Assembly needs to sit up to spend a far shorter time than it does in appropriating the budget. For instance, let me mention this. Way back in 2007, there was this act, in the United States, the Fiscal Responsibility Act, it's a bill that was being proposed to be called Fiscal Responsibility Act. Now, the proponents of that bill, there were 8 congressmen that proposed it. And it was this, that there should be personal financial incentives that congressmen should enjoy should the federal government, experience a no deficit budget situation in that year. And should the federal government experience a budget deficit, meaning that they are not able to get the revenues required to fulfill the budget, then congressmen should suffer some loss in their expected salaries and allowances. I love that. I want to see a situation where the National Assembly members, we should start to tie financial disincentives to delay of budget, considering its massive impact on the country. As a matter of fact, the economy of this country, often we say that, we lack infrastructure, we lack power, we lack this and all that. I tell you that the budget process, the over-politicized budget process, has affected the Nigerian economy more than any other single thing. That is the truth. So there must be a structure, a process, a statute that makes it unattractive for legislators to delay the appropriation of the budget, and to make it more attractive, personally incentivizing it for them, that when they pass the budget in time and budget expectations are fulfilled, they make a gain financially in terms of their own pay and things like that. It was in the spirit of that bill, in the United States of America was passed. And mark you, this budget brinkmanship, this polarity experienced in the budget process in the United States at a given time in 2011 caused a reduction of the United States of America's AAA rating, because investors and all that, there was a state of uncertainty. And it was just this same brinkmanship in the Congress that caused Standard & Poor's to reduce the rating of the United States of America, which has the attractive AAA position. And it came down to AA plus position. Now, so budget process is extremely important. And
Mr. Glenn Prince-Abbi,
this way. I want to see that reversing from now. Thank you.
Mr. Glenn Abby, very nice way to put some insight, perspectives, and context, global context of the Nigerian budgetary process globally into this discussion. I wish we had more time to discuss this, but of course, we'll get you around in the days and weeks ahead to share your thoughts, development economists. Thank you very much for joining us live from our Abuja studio, the Chief Executive Officer at Espera Global Corporation. We'll be back after the break, and we're tracking Tuesday opening bell.